All right, everybody. This is actually my first real interview with anyone, so this is kind of a treat for me. You'll have to excuse the background noise. We're sitting out here on the patio in Franklin, Tennessee, and who we got today?
It's Brooks Tiller.
Brooks Tiller. Is that a Dr. Brooks Tiller?
That's Dr. Brooks Tiller.
Yes. He doesn't look much like your average doctor. In fact, I got a chuckle. He pulls up beside me, and I'm looking all around the parking lot for a Mercedes or a nice Cadillac or something like that, and he pulls up in a Titan. And he's dressed like I am. I was like, yeah, that's not your average doctor here. So tell us what you do.
I'm a physical therapist, and of course, one reason I'm here with you is I love to hunt and fish. So it's one of the things I do. I do a lot of movement specialist is really what I guess my title is. Do a lot of movement for people. Even do a little personal training.
Kinesiology.
Yeah, a lot of kinesiology, and so help people move better, and then so they live better and they feel better.
Right. Well, that's great. And as hunters, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend hours doing nothing in a stand, in a blind, and that's rough. People don't realize how bad your movements become until they try to get up. And me, we talked, and I was like, I'm 55 years old right now, and I've had medical problems, got medical problems today. I've fought weight my whole life. So, it's tough for me. It's tough for guys. So any little bit helps, anything. Right. I'm going to wind up shooting a crossbow opening weekend because my shoulder's messed up from an old lifting injury. But you help people with that.
Right. Yeah, the big thing is just, if you're climbing over a log or having to slide under a log, you come to that log and you have your two choices, and if you're able to slide under or step over, and if you have both choices, you're a lot better off, and you can get to more places, and even if you're hunting alone, and let's say you kill a deer, you're gonna have to load it up alone.
Right.
And when you can, even if you just drag it to a creek bed and pull your four-wheeler up and slide it on there, you still have to drag it and push it over. Yeah. And which is, you still have to be mobile and at least have the strength to do that.
All right. So would you suggest, and I do, and so let me ask you, do you think it's better to do exercises that are more movement specific, as in, like you said, if we're dragging a deer, you need to mimic that movement in the gym, which is what I always considered a good idea.
Right.
Do you?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, if it's say you're talking about a deer, you can make your own sandbag or just an old tire and just put a rope to it and just pull it around, or you can even use your safety harness.
Right.
And instead of tying it to a tree, you take your strap and you might tie it to a tire, tie it to a weight, tie it to a homemade sandbag, and you can walk with it, or you can turn around and just pull it.
Yeah.
And you can use those kind of things, and even use little sticks. You can imaginary. You can step over and step under, and do squatting patterns, and toe touch patterns, things like that, just to get to where you can. And even in the deer stand, in balance, you can stand on one foot or stand on a pillow.
Right.
And stand on one foot, because when you're in your big rubber boots, because you want to be scent free, you don't have the stability that you might have in your tennis shoe that you might wear to the gym. So you're barefooted and stand on a pillow, kind of move around, and that kind of works on that balance a little
That's
bit.
a good idea. Yeah, it's something a lot of people overlook. And for me personally, I had Bell's palsy years ago, and some people think, oh, you get that and it goes away. No, it does not. If I get fatigued, it starts affecting me, and in fact today I'm tired. It's affecting my speech patterns. But the other problem I have is I had a virus attack the nerve in an inner ear. It got better, but that's all it got was better. It never went away, and it never will, because it's nerve damage. And my balance is now affected, and so things that can help my balance. Luckily, I've been in martial arts my entire life, so my sense of balance is better as a rule than most people.
Right.
Had it not been, I'd be in big trouble now.
Yeah, your balance is the inner ear. You have a key, is one of the key factors. Just that's why whenever you close your eyes, you can still know what's up and down, left and right.
Right.
With the others, you have your eyes, you can see things, and then also the sensation from your feet. When we get in the stand, it's cold. We got big, maybe 2 pair of socks or big bulky boots, so it kind of takes the sensation away from our feet, and then, you know, if for some reason we turn our head real quick and that inner ear is off, all we're left with is what we can actually see up and down. And if we're 20 feet in the air, even that may be thrown off.
Right.
And so, you know, really training those, and it can be, you know, that's why a lot of times people will fall. I mean, we need to wear a harness at all times, but if your balance is better, then, you know, then you're less likely to need that harness.
Exactly. So now we met online,
right,
through Twitter, and you're Healthy Hunter.
Healthy Hunter TV.
Healthy Hunter TV on Twitter. And one thing that I like is, even though this is your lifestyle, it's actually your business. Compared to a lot of fitness people out there, you're not cramming it down everybody's throat. And we talk about that. In fact, I told you, you don't even, to me, you don't post enough. And not about health, but just personal stuff. You went dove hunting.
Yeah.
The funny part is Brooks was literally dove hunting within hearing distance of my house and didn't know it. I could hear the dove shoot if I walked out my back door. And I'm, you know, a firm believer in, especially with social media, it is that. And that, you know, you need to be more proactive in getting people to know you, especially, you know, I don't follow a huge number of people in the Nashville area, but I can't think of one that wouldn't benefit from what you do.
Right.
And so, you know, social media is a great driving force. I'm a firm believer in it, and I drive my business through it, as you do, and it's, but I rarely talk business. You know, they'd rather talk to you. They want to know about hunting and fishing, and then they'll come to you and say, you know, help me out with this. Right. And so it's, you know, again, social medias are a great source, especially, you know, like I said, you're giving a lot of information away through your website or through you personally, and you know, people need to take a look at that because it's free. You're trying to help them out, and you're not asking them for a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have an ebook I've written about balance, and it's pretty basic, pretty simple, but it's you know, in the clinic as a therapist, you know, I work with anybody that's, you know, people had strokes, people had brain damage, and, you know, even elderly folks that have just over time lost their balance. So I worked with a lot of those folks, and so over that, and, you know, realizing that even last year, my father is a baseball coach down in Lewis County. Started the program, and one of his former players actually fell out of a tree last year and lost his life. And so that kind of spurred me to really work on balance. And his balance was actually really good. He actually worked from a high distance, and, you know, and it's one of those things is it just takes one little split second of losing your balance and then you're falling. And, you know, if we can keep people from falling, that's one reason I wrote the book. But I also put a lot of videos up. I love to eat, but I like to make sure and eat, you know, clean and healthy food, if you will. Yep. And, you know, I'll take a deer roast or deer steak, and instead of breading it and frying it, I might cook it in the crock pot, or I might cook it in the oven and just put some cream of mushroom on it or something like that, so it doesn't have a lot of the breading, and, you know, it decreases the value of the meat, and so you keep that healthiness in there.
What's the title of your book?
Oh, it's just Balance in the Law.
Balance in the Law. And your website?
It's healthyhuntertv.com or healthyhunter.tv. Either one gets you there.
Okay.
So but I put a lot of videos up, and even put some exercises up.
Driving this 75 Cadillac,